Well, as the chair of the British Parliamentary All-Party Group on Kashmir, we wanted to bring MPs and members of the House of Lords, member of the European Parliament, from all the main political parties to see for ourselves the situation with the current dispute in Kashmir. And for all of the reading and the theory that we can do, there's no substitute for visiting ourselves, not just to see the terrain and the line of control and the division, but to hear the testimony of individuals whose lives have been affected, families broken apart, and human rights affected because of this decade-long situation. Well, we can't continue with this situation for yet another decade. We know that there are United Nations resolutions going back very, very many years, but actually we have to now try and find some solutions. And I think the international community has already come together in part through the United Nations High Commission on Human Rights to say that there are laws, particularly on the Indian administered side, that are not giving people the freedoms that they need and are giving almost unlicensed ability to the security forces over there. And I don't think that is fair for the people. So what we need to do now is not just have confidence building measures, but also ways of taking the conflict down. And ultimately, I'm hoping that there might be a window of opportunity once certainly the Indian elections are out of the way next year for both sides to sit down and say, is there a better way of moving forward? Well, we've met people who've had members of their family killed. We've met people who had been victims of sniper attack. And of course, we know that there's not just human costs, but massive economic costs, hundreds of thousands of military forces on both sides, which is ultimately a futile waste of money when both countries should be investing in development, jobs, infrastructure improvement, and fighting the real enemies in society as we have it. So I'm hoping that if Britain, maybe other countries, can just take more interest in this question, we can start to help press all sides to take a different path. Well, it's important to say we're not here from the UK government. We're representatives of different parts of Parliament. As a Member of Parliament, I have very many residents in my constituency of Kashmiri heritage, and they say quite frequently we have to move this issue forward. One of the solutions is getting out more news, more media coverage, finding out what's actually happening, because to be frank, the rest of the world does not talk about this issue as much as it should. And so if we can draw attention to the fact that this is an ongoing crisis that needs to be addressed, then I think that in itself would be a worthwhile thing. Well, obviously, we have asked as an all-party parliamentary group the Indian authorities, please talk to us. We want to engage with all sides. So far, our invitation has not been reciprocated. The Pakistan authorities have been very good to facilitate a chance to visit and have been quite open about the situation. So we need to try and find out information from all sides. But as you know, it's very difficult to get information out of the Indian administered side of Kashmir. So we will keep trying and make sure that the wider international community properly puts the priority onto this issue.